All right, welcome. So today we're going to be using Preview. Preview is a basic feature on a Mac. It's just a way of altering some things, doing some basic photo alterations. So we're going to get through that. I know we've been doing a lot of things in Google Drawing, and one of the things we actually will be doing in Google Drawing, one of the alterations we'll be doing in Google Drawing, but the other five will just happen here. So this is what our final piece is going to look like. It's going to be a page in Google Drawings. I created a template for you that'll be attached to the assignment. You can see the assignment here. You have your assignment and a template. So you'll use that template to create a six images, all slightly different, right? So in the assignment itself, this is at the bottom, just an example. Walk you through step by step how to do each of these things. It's a little bit wordy, but I think it's pretty thorough. So you could look at it that way, or I'm going to walk you through it right now, and I think you'll find this to be really simple. So first things first, let's find an image. We need to go find an image. So I'm going to find something. What am I looking for? I'm going to find that that doll from Squid Game. Cool. So I'll go to images. Find this doll. Now I'm going to get a larger one here because I think we want to crop it eventually. So here's the doll. Maybe that's too big. Here's the doll. I'm going to right click or control click and open image in new tab. I just like seeing the image in its own tab. Then I'm going to not copy the image, but I'm going to save the image as. It'll save it automatically. Replace, I did this before. Save the image automatically as a JPEG. So if I click on this, it downloaded in this lower corner. This image all of a sudden comes up in Preview. You can see all of a sudden this changed to Preview. If I click on my computer, I'm in Finder. If I click on the image, I'm in Preview. I'm going to X out of this, so I'll show you how to get to this later. So first thing is I'll go to my template. And you see, I don't like maximizing my windows. I know a lot of us in class will maximize our windows. Anytime we're working in this class, it's nice to be able to work in multiple programs. I'm working in Preview and I'm working in Google Chrome. So I have my template open from the assignment. I have original image right there. I'm going to just drag that in. I'm going to go to this little thumbnail looking thing, drag this in. I'm going to fit that right in there. Now, I want to resize it a little bit. I'm going to make it smaller. Now, we know not to do this because that smushes images. We don't like that. But if we go up to this upper corner, we see how the arrow turns kind of crooked. And as I resize it, it's going to keep the same proportions. So beautiful. I have my original image, step one. Step two, I want to be able to crop the image. Now I know I can like double click on here and crop it in this window, but let's learn how to crop it in Preview. So I click back on my Preview image and I could just drag a square over this. I want to keep like more of her head and I can move that square around. So I think we're going to zoom in on here. I go to Tools, Crop. So there it is, a cropped image. So I'll do the same way. I'm going to go to this little thumbnail, this little thing that looks like a page, and I'm going to drop it into my Google Drawing. I'll bring it up to cropped image, resize it from the corner. Maybe I'm going to resize this one too again so they fit in there nicely. So there we are. Now I want to create a black and white image. So I'm going to go back to here, and this is where I think Preview is interesting. I could go to an area in Tools that has Adjust Color, and it brings up this control panel. And I could do some manipulating in here. It's very basic photo editing, but very useful, I think, especially if we're just trying to do something in a pinch or very quickly. So where I change it to black and white is this area called Saturation. Now I could go all the way to the right, and it's like the colors get crazy, really intense, right? Or I go all the way to the left and the colors go away completely. It gives me a black and white image. So I have my black and white image. Go back to my thumbnail, drag it into here, good to go. I'm going to resize it. Now we're getting somewhere. All right, fantastic. So the next thing I'm going to do is go to this sepia image. Now sepia is like a kind of a tone you might recognize in like old westerns or something like that, or old grainy photos. So down here, I could bring it back, I could bring the color back, but I think I can just leave it the way it is and just drag this sepia all the way over. Then we have this like interesting kind of sepia tone, right? So again, dragging from the thumbnail, rescaling. And that's that. We have that image. So going back to a graphic high contrast image. Now with this, maybe I'll get rid of the sepia, just bring it back to the middle. I'm going to use my exposure and contrast. Exposure is like how much light is being exposed in the image, and contrast is going to make the darks darker and the lights lighter at the same time. So I'm going to beef up exposure, making it brighter, and at the same time I'm going to beef up contrast. The contrast kind of like makes the darks really dark and the brights really bright. And if I play with these two things together, I get this kind of like, if I go too far, it might be too much. So I might stop there. If I wanted to like really go next level, I'll X out of it and I could reopen the image. That one's saved on my computer. Desktop. I'll open the image back up and see it reset the exposure and contrast, so I could kind of give it another go. It's almost like if you make a photocopy of a photocopy, you start to lose information, right? I'm gonna get rid of the saturation as well. Make it totally black and white. So that's a really nice graphic image. When you think graphic, think like graphic tee or graphic t-shirt, right? This would look like an album cover or something that you would see in graphic design. So there we are. Now I'm going to go to this area recolor image. Now I'm kind of done with preview. I could recolor in preview, but in this case I want to point out something in Google Drawing that I like a lot. So in this case, I'm just going to grab any of these images. I'm going to grab the first cropped image, Command C, Command V, and put this over in the recolor area. And I want to go to Format Options. So in Format Options, I see there's a recolor area. It says no recolor, but if I do a drop down, I have all these interesting different recolor options that I could do. This red thing, this yellow thing, whatever I want. I'm going to choose, but what I'm going to choose, and you could choose any of these that you want, the one I like a lot is this negative right here. So what that did was flip everything. And this is useful. We have like, if we were to print this on a dark piece of plexiglass and print the negative version, it's going to flip everything. So the whites will print black, blacks will print white. Kind of a useful thing. So that's it. We've created our preview. We can go back to the assignment. I think in the assignment at the very end, as our assignments always have, there's a reflections. What went well? What were some challenges? What changes did you make? How do you think you might use this technique in the future? So make sure you answer that so you get your outcome for reflection. Make sure you attach the assignment, and you're good. I'm looking forward to seeing your images, and I hope this is a quick, useful tip. Have a great day, guys.